Welcome to today's episode of Relationship and Life. Throughout this week, we've been talking about man and his relationship with his material world. And we've spoken about what we mean by the material world. We've spoken about the misconceptions that sometimes we have concerning man and his relationship with the material world. Today, we want to look at some of these laws and how we work with them and how they affect our relationship with these material things. It's interesting that when it comes to the material things of this world, all of us as human beings have some basic understanding, like basic laws coded in all of us that we knowingly or unknowingly live by. Now, I found out that no matter who you are, there's something on the inside of you that makes you believe that the material things of this world should not really control you. That's why if you are hot, you want to do something to change that situation. Either you switch on an air conditioner, you get a hand fan, or you get a fan and try to cool yourself down. If you are cold, you want to bath or something, either you boil some water, use your water heater. You always like to have control over the material things around you. If you don't have money, the average person is not happy. Why? You feel that money should be at your beck and call, and nobody really taught anybody how to do this. You instinctively respond to it. A baby will cry for food because it believes that I am not built to be hungry. There is something about me that revolts when there is hunger. So when the baby is hungry, the baby begins to cry. When the baby is uncomfortable, maybe the baby has weed on the body and all that, and the diapers are full, the baby is uncomfortable, the baby begins to cry and make noise. Why? As a baby, the baby seems to understand that, listen, there is something inside me that is against discomfort. I should always be, the material things of this world should make me comfortable. Now, let's read again in the Bible and let's see what God said about these laws. Romans chapter 2, verse 14, and I'll read verse 15, 14 and 15. He said, "For when the Gentiles who do not possess the law do instinctively what the law requires." Remember that? Take note of that. Do instinctively what the law requires. They are a law to themselves, even though they do not have the law. Verse 15. They show that the law was written, they show that what the law requires was written in their hearts, a fact to which their own consciences testify, and their thoughts will accuse or excuse them. I'll read that again, verse 15 particularly. They show that what the law requires is written in their hearts. That some way, somehow, in the code of every human being seems to be written some laws of God that, listen, man, you were created to be in dominion. You were created to be in charge. You were created to rule. You were created to reign over the material things of this world. So the moment those things try to rule over us, we begin to revolt. Now, how we all respond is different, but there is something about the average man that the moment the material things of this world seem to be trying to control him, there is a revolt in his spirit. Remember what we said earlier, what God said to man in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28? God said, "Then God blessed them, and God said to man, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over every living thing that moves on the earth." And let me read Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Genesis 2:15 says, "Then God placed man in the garden to cultivate it and guard it." He placed man in the garden to cultivate and guard. Now, what are the key words there? God said to man, subdue. That is, tame, bring under your control. When it comes to the things of this world, subdue Bring under their control. Don't let them control you. Bring them under your control. Number 2, he said, have dominion. That is, be in charge. Then he said, cultivate it. That is, develop these things. Develop it. Maximize their potential. Maximize their use. And protect it. Let's take that again. He says, subdue. He says, have dominion. He says, cultivate and guard. We'll take a break and we'll go further after. Please don't go away.
The decision on whom to marry is perhaps one of the most important decisions that you can make in life. Unlike any other decision you make in life, the decision on whom to marry has a far-reaching direct impact on your life. Sadly and unfortunately, most people fail to prepare adequately for this all too important life decision. In this book, Before You Say I Do, by Adeniyi Adekunle, you will find points to consider before proceeding to the marriage altar and down-to-earth practical questions to ask yourself before saying, I do.
Experience God's life, light and love as you join our church family this Sunday at the Helpers House, venue, Kwoti Event Center, 171 Bagada Owaron Shoki Expressway, beside EcoBank, opposite UBS, First Federal Bus Stop, Bagada, Lagos. Time, 9:30 a.m.
Welcome back. We've been talking about the laws that God put in man, and basically what the law is saying that man was created to have dominion over the material things of this world. And we say 4 things that are locked in those laws. That man is supposed to subdue the material things of this world. They are not supposed to subdue man. Man is supposed to have dominion, authority, and control over this thing. Man is supposed to cultivate this thing, that is, develop them and maximize the use of the material things of this world. And man is meant to protect them. The moment a man cannot seem to do any of these things, he begins to feel uncomfortable. But the truth is this: inside every man, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, pagan, whatever it is, those codes are just on the inside of you that you want to have, you want to be in charge. It's there. A baby does not know anything, but a baby knows how to say no to hunger. So the baby revolts. The baby, in fact, some babies can get so violent they throw their balls away when it's empty. So because there is something on the inside of the baby that says, listen, I am not born to be hungry. I am not born to give me food. So the same thing too. There is something on the inside of every man that says, listen, I am not born to be under circumstances. I'm not born to be under the material things of this world. Even on the fallen state, after man fell in the garden, the Bible says in the fallen state, when man realized that he was naked, even in that fallen state, he still had enough sense to make something to cover himself. The Bible says that man realized that he was naked, and before God came there, the Bible says man got leaves to cover himself. So there is something in man that wants to make life better for him, that wants to be in control of his situation. And that's what the material things of this world are for, to serve man as man serves his purpose in God. And the moment any of these things are not there, then there is a trouble, then there's trouble. So the question is this: what are you doing to be in dominion? How are you exercising your dominion? How are you subduing the material things of this world? How are you cultivating the things around you, and how are you guarding it? The moment any of these things are out of place, then life becomes a frustration. When we see the life of Jesus, Jesus is God in the flesh. Where the first Adam failed, Jesus Christ, the last Adam, succeeded. He came to show us what Adam was supposed to do. And when Jesus was on earth, now remember, sometimes when we call Jesus, sometimes all of us think about Jesus, most of us think about Jesus as the Son of God who could do anything he wanted to do and all that. But remember, Jesus was called the Son of Man. He functioned as a human being. And when we see Jesus on the earth, we saw that Jesus was without limits. He was without limits. He was traveling one time, and the Bible says that the storm came up, and his disciples were screaming, and they were saying, oh, we are dead, we are dead, we are dead. The Bible says Jesus rose up. When they told him, he rose up, he rebuked the wind, and he spoke to the sea. What was he doing? He was taking dominion. He was subduing the material things of this world. What he was simply saying is this: listen, sea, wind, you were not created to destroy me. You were created to serve me. So peace, be still. We saw Jesus speak to disease in the life of people, bring disease out. Why? Because he knew that, listen, the body is created to serve man. Man is a spirit, that the body is supposed to serve man in this world. So anything that afflicts the body should be taken out. So he speaks to disease, get them out of the body. He knew how to multiply. He saw resources were there, 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He multiplied it. We just saw him taking absolute dominion over the material things of this world. He didn't do it to make us clap and say that, oh, Jesus is doing it fantastic. He did it to show us that you can do the same thing. The laws of dominion over the material things of this world is in everybody. When you see man going to space, is that thing is exercising. When you see man building air conditioners, that's what is exercising. When you see man leveraging technology to make his life better, is that thing that God created in man. And like I said earlier, it makes no difference that man is fallen. That Adam in his fallen state still created clothes for himself to have dominion. What God is saying is this: exercise your dominion over the material things of this world. Don't let them rule over you. Rule over them. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Relationship and Life. We'll continue our topic at this time tomorrow. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
I'm back bigger and better. In a world full of pressures on all sides, many people experience some form of setback at some point or the other in life. While some setbacks can easily be overcome, many others can knock the best of men out of the game of life and bring them to a place where they never have the courage to get back up and fulfill their dreams and aspirations. In this book, I'm Bigger and Better by Adeniyi Adekunle, learn scriptural strategies that will help you turn setbacks into comebacks, help you rise every time you fall, and help you fulfill your dreams and aspirations.